Good morning and welcome to another thrilling episode of your premium family breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria.
Yes, indeed. Another day, another chance at life. Take nothing for granted and think of every breath as a gift.
Yes, it is Tuesday and the week is officially in full swing. We have also started counting down to the end of the month.
Oh, you bet. It's the last week in the month of February. We are grateful we made it here this far and appreciate the fact that, hey, you are here with us. But of course, Mike is also here. Hey, let's make a mention, Mike. How you doing?
My engineer.
That's what's up. That's what's up. But I love this natural hair that you are on. Man. Like, this is the real hashtag be like a Kojerala.
Tell me about it. She walked in this morning and I felt so inadequate. I'm like, oh my goodness. First of all, I mean, hey.
I'm sure everybody's used to Mazino's whining.
No,
don't fall for it. Don't fall for it.
How can I whine you and then somebody's asking her, how are you? Are you fine? I mean, can't you see? She is fine.
Oh my goodness.
Dr. Mazino has not started. Wait till Mary comes.
I see.
That's why his full color comes out.
Exactly. I'm just more like compensation for when there is
how could you say that? In any case, we look forward to spending our early hours with you every single week because, hey, that is the only way we know how to start our day.
Yes, now we have a fully packed show for you today. Do stay with us to the very end. My name is Tokwe Olooniyan.
And of course, my name is Mazino Phil. Remember, you can use the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC across all social media platforms, be it on Facebook or Twitter, Instagram, everything. Just use it.
Now, you can also watch us live from absolutely anywhere in the world. Now, as long as you have internet connection, all you have to do is download our app. It is available for free on both Android and iOS stores, and it allows you to view us on the go, literally.
Yes, indeed. Follow us at TVC Connect on all socials, like I said from before. Now, let's check the highlights and tell you what we have coming on today. First off, on health. We will be discussing managing migraines with Dr. Kuti Olatunde, a certified medical practitioner who's worked in both private and public sector with a keen interest in public health.
Right after that, we have a musical performance from Adegbite Temitayo, popularly known as Tayo Vic. He is a rapper, singer, and music composer, and he will be performing a tune titled Balansa.
And Ekiemi B, a Siri, seasoned teacher, educational consultant, and parenting educator will be joining us in parenting to talk about the value of talk in parenting. And
finally, we are going to be joined by OK Jude. He's an actor, model, presenter, broadcaster, and voice-over artist who has starred in numerous Nollywood movies and sitcoms like Mnet's hit series The Brethren, Tinsel, Ineka the Pretty Serpents, The Blingley Goshians, and a host of other notable films. He will be joining us later in the show.
Alrighty then, you're welcome. It's Wake Up Nigeria, and first of all, let me say hi, Mike. Welcome, Mike.
Yep.
Let me save the best for last because I cannot get over the fact that you are the lady in red today. This is so beautiful. Your natural hair.
I'm not falling for this.
I'm not toasting you. I'm being.
She wants to round up. She wants to round up the month of love. She just wants to round up.
That's the problem. One cannot just feel like wearing red anymore without you guys feeling like you have.
Especially in this month.
Red is a very peculiar
now looking like,
color.
Okay, there's no white. Okay, there's white somewhere. Not looking like tetracycline or something.
You don't wear red and not get noticed or not asked to be noticed. That's my point.
Well, I mean, if you wear red, you might as well be very confident in itself.
Well, true
it's
that.
a beautiful color, by the way.
Very, very
but
true.
you don't go and wait on February 14th. Like, I feel like when someone wears red and white, like, how do you feel?
It is so cliche.
Like, how do you feel? And you now go to fast food.
Okay, so I got into a little fight with my wife last night.
What happened?
She is of the opinion that I never say no enough to my daughter. And I started asking myself, did they say no enough to me as a kid, or maybe a bit too much? And
so you don't want to have to do that.
Exactly. So maybe that's why I'm overcompensating and maybe just, anything. What do you want? Yeah, okay, you want to dive off the cliff? Okay, sure. No problem.
True.
Definitely not diving off the cliff.
So, the thing about this thing is a lot of parents will tell you that, no, you need to teach the girl. But when she comes, especially when she gives you those kind of eyes.
Daddy, please.
Oh, stop. You sound exactly like her.
But you know something. But really, you should try because life will tell her, will give her many
Yeah,
rules.
true. I understand.
So she needs to learn.
The day my dad told me no, like this month, early this month.
And you're like,
I'm just like, Daddy, like,
this is me.
that's what mommy does.
This is
what
me.
You do.
This is me, yeah?
Like, I know the pattern. I know how to go. In the morning, I say, hi, Daddy, you're the best daddy in the world.
You
I love
wind
you so
him
much.
round
I'm
your
like,
finger.
what's going on? Nothing, Daddy, just checking
Just
on
say-
you. All right, I love you too.
Emotional banking for
like
the
10
future.
a.m. Hi, Daddy, how's your day going? Good. All right, Daddy. 2 p.m. So, Daddy,
I
I was
need-
thinking. No, I'm always thinking. Do you think, so when I'm making his idea,
Yeah.
it's a lot better. So, Daddy, do you think I could do this? Then he would now say, oh, no. So, Daddy, I'm like, Daddy, do you think I could? Like, no.
Like,
I'm like,
Is
No.
what did you do to my dad? Vomit him now.
and I'm just like, and then I think maybe the chatting is the problem. And I'm like, hi, Daddy. He's
Nope,
like, oh,
not
no,
gonna
no,
work.
I don't know, it's not working. I'm like, hi.
Mike, do you think you'll be overly...
no, I feel it's hard to say no when you love someone.
Yeah.
You know, and then your
Yeah.
daughter, it's very hard.
But our mother still
You
tells
know.
us no.
Yeah, but I think there's some form of love in learning when to say no.
Welcome again, and we begin this hour with the news. And now the Senate President, Ahmad Lawan, who says the government is putting every measure in place toward improving Nigeria's security situation within the next 2 months. Mr. Lawan stated this yesterday after a closed-door meeting with President Muhammadu Buhari in Aso Rock, Aso Villa, Abuja. He said the government is headed in the right direction in its efforts to addressing security situation of the country, as the needs to protect all areas, whether rural or urban, to ensure that all Nigerians can feel safe. And this is paramount. Now, the Senate President had an extensive discussion with President Muhammadu Buhari and assured that between now and probably the next 2 months, there will be a lot of activities to ensure that the environment is secured for people to live very normal lives.
Nobody would like to see the kind of thing that we experience in various parts of the country in the form of insecurity. As political leaders, we have responsibilities to our people, and we cannot shy away from that. We have to get our people secured. We have to secure the environment for them to earn their means of livelihood. We would like to see our farmers go back to farms before the rains start to come, the rainy season starts. And this means we have to secure the rural parts of Nigeria as well as the urban centers, because we need businesses to flourish. So I believe that between now and probably the next 2 months, there will be a lot of activities to ensure that we secure, we recover and secure our environments for our people to lead a very normal life.
And gunmen have kidnapped a lecturer in the University of Port Harcourt, Dr. Jones Ayu, and a first-class traditional ruler in Rivers State, King Aaron Ikuru. Now, the lecturer in the Department of Linguistics and Communications was abducted by 4 armed men while returning from an event in Andoni local government area. 3 journalists working for Rivers State Television who attended were also said to have been attacked and disposed of their camera, mobile phones, and other valuables. The monarch was taken away by the abductors from his palace in Ikuru town in Andoni local government area. And in a bid to ensure peace, the Southeast Governors Forum on Monday waded into the feud between the governor of Imo State, Hope Uzodinma, and his successor, Senator Rochester Okorocha. Senator Okorocha was arrested on Sunday in Owerri for allegedly unsealing a property said to belong to the wife, which was sealed by agents of the state government on Saturday. The Southeast Governor, in a statement by their chairman and governor of Ebonyi State, David Umahi, urged the 2 political leaders of Imo State, Uzodinma and Okorocha, of their preparedness to settle the disputes internally. And that's as much as we have for the news this hour. And of course, let's welcome you this quarter hour. And of course, this segment, it's time for us to let you know what's making headlines on the dailies this morning. Today is, of course, February 23rd, that much closer to the end of the month for 2021. We're going to start with the Punch newspaper this morning, and we have right off the mark this headline: division among bandits delays abducted Niger schoolboys release. Kidnappers still negotiating among themselves, the good and the bad ones. Negotiator says. Afenifere Ohaneze, Middle Belt Forum, carpet Gumi for advocating blanket amnesty, and why military can't confront bandits Islamic clerics held talks with, say ex-DSS director. At the top of the Punch newspaper, PHC seals agreement on power supply to Togo. Very interesting story that you might want to read on page 21. Raises plenty of questions you might want to share with us. Petrol landing cost jumps to 186 naira. Oil hits $64. And families, friends mourn NAF pilots. Others recount victims' journeys. At the bottom of the Punch newspaper this morning, we have these headlines. Southwest governors must ensure Amoteku carries sophisticated weapons, say DAWN, and 3 arraigned for invading palace, beating up Ashu monarch. Senate screens service chiefs behind closed doors today. Moving on now swiftly to our next paper, and that is the Vanguard newspaper. Big headline here, governors have final say on petrol price hikes, say the federal government, as governors meet on issue on Thursday. And we're done with labor, says Ngige. At the top of the Vanguard, Okorocha's aides charged to court as Southeast governors weighed in, and Dawn to Southwest governors enforce anti-open grazing ban. Find that on page 10. Abducted Kagara students, staff found in Burning Gwari, that's Kaduna State, say Zamfara governor. And at the bottom of the Vanguard, or rather right smack in the middle, the photo story here, some of the abducted travelers after they were released by bandits at the government house in Minna, Niger State on Sunday. A sigh of relief there. To the side, COVID-19, fake vaccines now in circulation. FG raises alarm. That's a warning that you must heed. And United's B777 engine failure. We're studying situation, say NCAA. Bauchi governor, a part of terrorist group terrorizing Nigeria, say Autumn. Interesting read there on page 14. We're going to move on now to our next paper, and that would be the Guardian newspaper for a Tuesday. Trade restrictions, climate change threaten Nigeria's food supply. Nimitz forecast foregrounds food insecurity. And for the story here on The Guardian, Mr. Peter Kibo, Assistant Co-Marshal, Federal Road Safety, representing Co-Marshal FRSC, and Nick Odiwe, Chairman, Petroleum Technology Association of Nigeria, all represented at the flag-off ceremony of the Oil and Gas Industry Search, Rescue and Surveillance Program by DPR in Lagos. This was only yesterday. Nigeria won't purchase vaccines from private organizations, say FG. That story tells more, indicates that there would be vaccines available at the end of this month, and more on how it will not be purchasing from private firms. We move on now to our next headline, and this would be inside of our next paper. That would be the Tribune newspaper. Fulani nomad fighting ethnic war, Gumi say, and feels his existence threatened, as he explains on page 3. And FG to restore peace and order all over country within 2 months, say Lawan. Makinde Farase may hold parallel zonal PDP congresses. And Olu security forces arrest 20 IPOB militia, alleged 69.4 billion naira debt court vacate order on Jimo Ibrahim's assets. And one final one from this paper here, 2 trillion naira needed to fix rot in federal polytechnics, say ASUP. You might find that one very interesting, especially if you are a student. Let's do our final paper this morning, and that would be the Daily Sun. And the first big headline on the Daily Sun, Lawan Baja tackle executive order, poor 2020 budget implementation. Buhari governors meet on fuel pricing framework on Thursday. Don't panic, they say, over our borrowing, FG tells Nigerians. At the top of the Daily Sun, herdsman Ortom Bala Mohammed, trade words. Benue governor brands his Bauchi counterpart Fulani terrorist. You'll hear from me soon, says Mohammed, and herders must protest themselves, ex-governor Yogoda says. And that's as much as we can take this morning from our dailies. The headlines, you might want to find them and maybe take a copy. If you have any comments you want to make, use the hashtag Wake Up Nigeria on TVC if you want to get our attention, and we might be commenting to on that.
What?
iPhone 13 is already trending.
Is it out? Did 12 just come out?
I don't know. I stopped at iPhone 9.
Like there's already
It's not iPhone 9.
Oh, X for 1. I don't know, jump, something like that, yeah.
Yes, after 8.
After 8, we jumped to X.
It's the #1 trend in Nigeria now.
Okay,
And it's the legit trend.
Trust
Apple's already
Nigerians
putting
to
out specs and all of that, upgrades will be there and all of that. Yes, now some people are still saving for 9.
They can't get.
Some people are still saving for 9. I'll be 10 or somewhere. Somebody says, I'm still saving for 10. I'll be 11 or somewhere. And then so they stop production of 9.
There is no 9.
There's no 9.
Yes.
Okay, they dropped 9.
Yeah, after
okay,
8, they went
to 10.
X.
How do you know? Okay, yeah. Well,
how do you not know?
So they have this way of tutoring you and making sure that you always
rich. Like as if I have money to afford 30.
like no problem. They just please. They just
let me know how much it is.
They should just bring up. You know those people that when they go for an auction, they should just bring up 15. I beg. Why are they giving us 13? That's just iPhone 20, please, or something.
My phone is why they are bringing out new ones. They should make the older models cheaper, so that we that have been looking at some because hey,
they've been told, recent that was like last year when the news broke and Apple had to pay a particular fee because they were intentionally, a lot of phones do it, not only Apple, intentionally slowing down older models, which is why I tell people that if you're using an application on your phone and you don't need to upgrade, now there are times you need to upgrade, don't auto update. I mean, don't put your phone on auto update. You don't need every app auto updated. You choose the ones that you want to auto update, the ones that the updates would really have a meaning to you. If you don't, okay, so for instance, let's say maybe your calendar app or something that the updates it's really necessary to you. Yes, but say I don't know. For instance, maybe a Canva. If you're not someone that designs so much, I have a Canva. You don't have to auto because those updates, especially the ones that are from phone manufacturers, they actually tend to slow your phone down. It happens all around. Yes, they do. They do. Apart from the fact that, look, you have, maybe you have a 2 or 4 gig RAM, and then these updates, of course, they tend to take up more space when it comes to the RAM. So even when they don't try to intentionally, they do take up more, they slow down your device. But Apple went for that to intentionally slow down devices by giving you updates, and then some of them were compulsory.
I think I read an article one time about somebody planning to sue Apple for that.
Yes, they did.
Because
so
I mean, you're selling me a product that you are eventually going to intentionally make me want to throw away because the updates are either obsolete or, I can't use them anymore. These are intentional efforts by the company to actually try and make you go for the next one. I will admit, this is the very reason why I stopped, along with some social issues, why I stopped using iPhones. I'm very, very sorry. I think that they're grand. I think they're fantastic. I think they're not as friendly as Androids.
Yeah.
But, it's that status thing everybody wants to go with. I use an iPhone.
No, I think it's a Nigerian status thing.
Nigeria? Because I don't care anymore anyways.
It's a Nigerian thing that they measure your wealth by your phone.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, they check what kind of driving.
People still do that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Phone?
It's a
Your
No, in this day and age when you have phone covers.
How long have you used that phone?
This one, maybe 2 years.
2 years? Okay, that's long
3.
enough for a mobile device. Actually.
But then with the same thing, if I have to go all out to buy a device, I tend to want to go high end. Because I remember when I got this, it's a 6 gig RAM. And this was like 3 years ago. You understand? So I look at the specs. I know what I want because of what and I know I'll use it for a particular while. So I went for a 6. The same thing I used to mention that the laptop I use now is 11 years old.
Now it's 11. You said it's 10 last year.
It was 10 last year. So it's giving issues. But I remember when I bought it then, it was a 4 gig RAM. And then people were okay with 2 gig RAM. And I was like, okay, I want to think ahead. So if I want to buy a system now, I'm thinking at least 16 gig RAM. Because I tend to, I don't, change at will. No, I use something, I get something that would serve me for quite a while, and I use it as much as I can. So that's how I do with devices. I check the specs. I don't go for what's trending. And that's why people will come out with, they have these covers on phones. They will make an iPhone 8 look like an iPhone 12.
Yeah.
Yes now. So because of that status, like you said, status symbol, so you want to take a selfie, like the bathroom selfie.
Yes.
So, there's a phone, I think it was 12 where the 3 cameras
the one that looks like a gas cooker.
So they have, exactly. So there was this cover that came out almost immediately, and then people will put it over an iPhone 8 or something.
Are you serious?
And then it looks like an iPhone, and then they'll go to mirror selfie.
Well, but when are you changing your phone in any case? Not now?
To be honest, I will change it soon. Because
only because of functionality, I guess.
What?
Only because of functionality.
Yes, I've had the phone I'm using since 2019.
2019?
Yeah, 2019.
Who are you dating? They haven't changed it for you since then.
Oh God, Mazino man, ew, like really.
Like-
This is hashtag Okonjewala things.
Oh, by
really?
the way,
confused.
I almost forgot to say,
Oh, my days.
congratulations,
Crazy
Tokwe. She
days.
just hit
Crazy days.
30,000 on Instagram. This is big. We're celebrating. The party's out back. You guys want to bring in the grill and all. Mike just hit.
Mike just hit 5,000 guys.
Yes!
We are
And this-
so
and this
excited.
people- and this will
He's got
okay, sir.
5,000 followers. We have 5,000 people
They need to,
tolerating Mike.
they need to, they need to, they need to,
Tolerating.
they need to change off these two's mic or something. Just change them out of
wow.
here. You know, while we're in the mood of celebrating, just a big shout out from one of our producers to her husband, from Bumi Omokewa. She's shouting out to her husband, producer of Your View, Abdul Omokewa, and Tumishe Jaisimi. Happy birthday from Jemima and Temi Omokewa.
Yeah.
So yeah, so
Did
since
you
it's
guys
all in
talk about the
celebration.
headies yesterday?
Yes,
This
we
thing.
did. We talked about the headies, and I couldn't get over Lakon's shoes.
We didn't talk about the shoes.
I know we didn't, but
I'm
later
done.
when I found out, it was.
We didn't talk about the shoes.
shoes.
Yeah, but I think I was watching ESplash, and of course they got more info on it and all of that.
On Lakers shoes.
No, on the whole.
Everybody
whole
missed the
event.
shoes. It was later the pictures you had to.
Well,
wonder.
I saw it. I know. I heard about the complaints we were having about organizing, but the stage was nice. I don't know. It looked good. Yeah,
It was alright.
it looked good. I don't know. It looked good. And then of course, Wizkid was the. Someone said when he came outside, there was like an audition. So the artists would be there, and they'd always pan to Wizkid, and they'd just be like, okay.
Let's do a break now, guys. When we get back, we have plenty more. We're going to show you who we have in the kitchen and what we're going to be making for today.
Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. And on health, today we are discussing something quite prevalent in our society today, migraines. Dr. Kuti Olatunde is in the house. He's a certified medical practitioner who's worked in both the private and public sector. It's great to have you. You are welcome. Migraine, that's something that a number of people talk about, and some people, I feel like people make it seem so common. Okay, I have a headache. If it's heavier than normal, they call it a migraine and all of that. Let's start with maybe some sort of a definition. What exactly is a migraine? How can you identify a migraine headache?
Okay, thank you for having me. So, first of all, I need to correct it. Not all headaches are migraine.
Not all, it can be.
Not all
Yeah.
headache. So migraine has its own characteristics. So the first thing first is usually one-sided of the head. We call it unilateral. So it's just one side of the head that you're having the pain. Common behind the eyes or above the eyes. So you feel much of the pain behind or above the eyes. Is usually made worse with lights or sound.
Photosensitivity.
Yeah, photosensitivity. And lastly, you can associate nausea and vomiting if it's that severe. So those characteristics are significant to migraine.
With migraines, right?
Yes.
Okay, so which set of people or what kind of people are most susceptible to migraine headaches?
Okay, so for children, less than 12 years, males are more susceptible than females. But above that age and in adults, females are more susceptible. There have been hormonal issues associated with that. So when females start menstruating, estrogen being produced has been associated with causing migraine. So for adult females, or when a female starts menstruating, they are predisposed to having migraine more than the males.
Is there any data to know the percentage of females in that particular stage who have or who will be susceptible to having a migraine?
Well, data in our own environment, no.
No, okay, no, forget our environment. Just
Yeah,
let's talk global.
In the foreign world, yes, there are data to.
So,
to
but
back that
what do you
up.
think? How many percentage of females would have a migraine when they are menstruating?
Well, the last survey done is like 1 in 5 females.
Oh wow, that's
will
like
have-
20%.
Yes, will have a migraine.
Will have
at
a
least
migraine.
once in their life.
Okay, so now let's talk about curative measures and maybe preventive measures.
Okay. Before I even go to that,
Okay.
I would like people to know that there are 2 types of migraine.
Okay, all right,
There are-
let's talk about
There's
that.
a migraine associated with an aura, and there's a migraine not associated with an aura. So when I mean aura means like symptoms you feel before the actual pain that precedes it. So for some people, they know when they are about to have the migraine. So they have these symptoms. Some of them, like I said, they feel nauseated, they want to vomit. Mostly they have visual changes.
So you
they'll
know
tell they
it's
have-
coming.
Yes, a sparkling light in their eyes or a blind spot they can't see well before the migraine starts. and that is usually not common, it's about 20%. So the
Okay.
one without the aura is the one that is more common. So in managing migraine, there are two types. Are you trying to abort the migraine, or you are trying to prevent it? There are different medications for it. So if you are trying to abort the migraine,
That means before it comes, you have already taken something to...
we want to prevent it.
You want to prevent it.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
But if you're trying to abort it, there are medications, there are pain medications. The common one, NSAIDs, that we all use can be used.
Yeah.
And there are other ones, which I don't want to mention. But
Okay,
yeah, there are
okay.
also medications that you can be used to abort the migraine.
The migraine.
However, if you want to prevent it, the first thing first, for people that know their triggers, so triggers for migraine can be stress, can be change in sleep pattern, and like I said, people that are menstruating,
Yeah.
even some food, chocolate, cheese, sugary things can trigger migraine. So if you want to prevent it, you have to avoid those things, first of all. Then you have also medications that are prescribed to you. So once you feel the aura, or once you're undergoing stress, or you are going through those things that might predispose you to having migraine, then you take those medications.
Now, what we've heard so much about, how dangerous is a migraine if left untreated? What is the worst that could happen?
Well, migraine can be mild to very severe.
Yeah.
So for people that they don't treat their migraine, they can have even as bad as what we call neurological deficit. So it can mimic like a stroke. So they have paralysis of one side of the
exactly,
body,
that's what I was
or
going
weakness. Yeah, so it can mimic a stroke. So people will think that they have a stroke, but meanwhile, it's just a migraine.
It's just a migraine.
But you have to be very careful, especially as the medical practitioner, because you want to make sure that it's actually migraine, not stroke. So because they can mimic each other, they can...
The symptoms can
be very similar. So that's like the worst you can have. Then there's also the one we call the basilar migraine. That's the one that affects the back of the head. That can also affect balance.
Okay.
You can affect your vision. It can affect the
Will-
way you
will
walk.
affect.
Yes.
I
and
have
it can be
there are
very
some,
serious.
Yeah, there's some
That-
consciousness. Some people I know that have it constantly. I mean, there's some people that it's almost every night. You know, they are battling with it. Some people can't sleep and all of that. In those particular kind of scenarios, I know you spoke about, some people don't actually know that maybe what they eat and what they do at different times can cause this. Someone who's battling migraines regularly, what kind of person watch out for? How can you ensure that maybe you keep yourself in the best possible condition so that you can, maybe prevent it or something?
Okay.
What can they do? People that have it regularly.
So first thing first, once you have it regularly, you have to know, is it hereditary? Is it something within your family? Like, because here, migraine can be hereditary. So you have to identify that fact. You have to identify your triggering factors.
We mentioned that the hereditary. You know that hereditary can be very... with the rate of the DNA thing as it's going now, I don't know if it's very, very, ensuring that your family line is actually your family line. But
I don't want to go into
where
that.
they're coming from.
So yeah, you have to know that you have to identify the triggering factor. Most times, there's always a triggering factor. So if you are someone that has migraine regularly, you have to identify your triggering factors. And if you can identify it's good, you avoid those triggering factors. And for some people that you can't identify the triggering factors, then you have to start your medication. That's the preventive medications.
Preventive, abortive medication.
So you want to prevent it, you have to stick with your medications. There are various types of medications, so you need to see your doctor, and you have to be in close contact with your doctor because sometimes you might not get it once, even as the health practitioner, you might not get the right treatment once. So you might try this, it doesn't work. So there are classes of drugs that can be used until you get the right one that can work for the person.
All right, finally now, can migraines be a precursor to something much deeper or something bigger within the human system? Like, is it possible that it could be a precursor to a bigger ailment or something?
Well, to a bigger ailment, not really.
Okay.
Like I said, migraine is just its own.
It's kind of like a standalone.
Yes, it's a standalone. It's not like when you have migraine. But if you don't treat it properly, you can
develop into something.
Yeah, like I said, the neurological
much,
symptom of
something
paralysis.
much bigger. Paralysis, is that really that is possible?
Yes,
with a migraine.
With migraine, yes, it's that bad. Some people have it that bad.
Wow.
And it can make you miss work for a very long time.
Wow.
I've had people talk about migraine and they say they feel like they should cut off their heads. Like it's that severe. So it's something that it's common and very important to know about it and to manage. You have to understand how to manage it to know, okay, is it actually migraine I have, or not? And if it's migraine, how do I manage this
How
thing?
do you manage all
So
of
people
that?
like with migraine, you advise them to sleep in a very quiet place that is
okay.
dark. You understand? That can also help them. You don't want to predispose yourself to unnecessary light and noise.
All right,
and things
thank
like
you.
that.
This was quite an enlightening discussion. I'm definitely sure it's going to be on YouTube. People can check it out and get some pointers on how to prevent and treat migraine. Thank you very much, Dr. Kuti.
You're
It was great
welcome.
having you.
I cannot tell you what goes on when the cameras are not on us, but this one right here.
It's the best there will ever be.
In any case, welcome back. Honestly, guys, it feels good to, just be here and make sure that you guys are out there and we're hanging out with you. We love every single day that we get to do this.
Yes, we do. Now, it's been beautiful so far, but you already know how we do. We kick things up a notch higher this last 45 minutes.
Yes, indeed. And we hope that you like knowing that when you get out of a bad morning, or out of bed every morning, rather. How did I get that? That we are here to help you get right into the day's activity. Thank you very much for being with us.
Yes, now we still have so much ahead waiting for you. So you sit back, relax, and enjoy.
Yes, indeed. And, by the way, she is Tokwe, and my name is...
No, you don't do that. So if I am Tokwe, I do, and he is Mazino.
All right, so she's Tokwe.
And he's Mazino.
Thank you very much. Remember, you can use the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC across all social media platforms to be a part of the show.
Now, you can also watch us live from absolutely anywhere in the world. So don't you ever go feeling like, oh man, I'm not going to watch TVC at Wake Up Nigeria. All you have to do is download our app. It is available for free on both Android and iOS, and it allows you to watch us anywhere you're going.
Yes, indeed. We are at TVC Connect on all social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Please use the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC.
Yeah, now soon we will have a musical performance from Adegbite Temitayo, popularly known as Tayo Vic. He is a rapper, singer, and music composer. He will be performing a tune titled Balansa.
Ekimiebi Isiri, a seasoned teacher, educational consultant, and parenting educator, will be joining us in parenting to talk about the value of talk in parenting.
And finally, OK Jude, an actor, model, presenter, broadcaster, and voiceover artist who has starred in a number of Nollywood movies and sitcoms like Mnet's hit series The Brethren, Tinsel, Ineka the Pretty Serpent, The Blingley Gaussians, and a host of other notable films. Will be joining us later for a chat.
Back.
What do you
Let me just put it ahead. Okay, that day, was it both of you? So that Martin does not put this one to social media. Let's just for fun.
Be careful what you ask for. Is all I'm going to say.
I just saw this one. It was
Might be
trending.
losing
It was trending.
Yeah.
I know that it was trending. This one, you're the one that will pay this one. An ex-policeman lost his house, his car, and his girlfriend. What did he lose first?
His house, his car, and his girlfriend.
Yeah, what did he lose first?
What
lost
did
his
he
girlfriend
lose
now.
first?
Yeah,
His
lost-
house, his car,
and his girlfriend.
and his girlfriend. He lost his job first.
Ah.
His house,
He
his
said,
car,
listen. You have
and his girlfriend.
to think about it. Come on.
So now
get
you're not
me.
passing this on to social media.
You're
You're not passing this on to social media.
Ex-policeman.
Oh, he lost his job.
Exactly.
Oh.
First of
You know
all-
what I was thinking? I was thinking he lost his house, his car, his
Did
he
he
has
lose
lost
his
his
car, then
girlfriend
his
first.
girlfriend left
Yeah,
him?
yeah, exactly. So-
For him to lose all that, his
Exactly,
girlfriend has
that's what
left him.
says or
So,
something.
as a kid, I used to have this book of mysteries.
Yeah.
And it was a Pictionary book. And it will ask you what happened first. So all you needed to do was look at the picture and decide. It was like a book of murders. So how did this guy... I can't remember how it goes, but
Yeah.
it makes you really do plenty of critical thinking before arriving at a conclusion,
Yeah.
like deducting and stuff like that. So I got really good at that, let me just say.
Exactly, yeah,
So
true.
I would always look at the question
Yeah.
and what's inside the question
Exactly.
before
Very
going to
good.
all the clues that you're giving
So if
me.
I do happen to go for any show that requires me to
Call me. When I say call a friend, call Mazino.
Call. And if you
we're
call my-
sharing.
who knows was sharing?
Yes,
Just
now.
be a friend.
Yes, now,
A friend in need is a friend
if I'm
indeed.
going to invest in you, if you're going to take out of my cerebral knowledge, then
Exactly.
you definitely have to share the money.
Imagine.
You have to share the
Wow.
money.
Welcome back. Second hour here for Wake Up Nigeria. Let's do the news once again. Now, the Senate President, Ahmed Lawan, says the government is putting every measure in place towards improving Nigeria's security situation within the next 2 months. Mr. Lawan stated this yesterday after a closed-door meeting with President Muhammadu Buhari in Aso Rock Villa, Abuja. He said the government is headed in the right direction in its efforts to addressing security situations of the country, as it needs to protect all areas, whether rural or urban, to ensure that all Nigerians can feel safe, this is paramount, he says. Now, the Senate President had an extensive discussion with President Buhari and assures that between now and probably the next 2 weeks, there will be a lot of activities to ensure that the environment is secured for people to live very normal lives.
Nobody would like to see the kind of thing that we experience in various parts of the country in the form of insecurity. As political leaders, we have responsibilities to our people, and we cannot shy away from that. We have to get our people secured. We have to secure the environment for them to earn their means of livelihood. We would like to see our farmers go back to farms before the rains start to come, the rainy season starts. And this means we have to secure the rural parts of Nigeria as well as the urban centers, because we need businesses to flourish. So I believe that
Gunmen have kidnapped a lecturer in the University of Port Harcourt, Dr. Jones Ayuwo, and a first-class traditional ruler in Rivers State, King Aaron Ikuru. The lecturer in the Department of Linguistics and Communications was abducted by 4 armed men while returning from an event in Andoni local government area. 3 journalists working for Rivers State Television who attended the same event were also attacked and disposed of their camera, mobile phones and other valuables. The monarch was taken away by the abductors from his palace in Ikuru town in Andoni local government area. And in a bid to ensure peace, the Southeast Governors Forum on Monday waded into the feud between the governor of Imo State, Hope Uzodinma, and his successor, Senator Rochas Okorocha. Senator Okorocha was arrested on Sunday in Owerri after allegedly unsealing a property said to belong to his wife, which was sealed by agents of the state government on Saturday. The Southeast Governors, in a statement by their chairman and governor of Ebonyi State, David Umahi, urged the 2 political leaders of Imo State, Uzodinma and Okorocha, of their preparedness to settle the dispute internally. And finally now, done with news, we can't wait to see what's happening inside the kitchen with Tokwe. We've waited long now, haven't we? Let's know exactly what's going on, Tokwe.
Yes, Mazino, we have waited long, and welcome to the kitchen, people. I have Chef Shebotsi Mo with me. Good morning, and she's taking us the traditional route this morning for breakfast. What are we preparing today?
Bitter leaf soup.
Bitter leaf soup.
Yes.
And
semo.
And semo. So you better have woken up with a huge appetite, because we are giving you a heavy start for the morning. Okay, so what are you doing now?
I want to put hot water in the black pepper, in the black fish.
Fish, okay.
I already have my chicken.
Yeah.
My
stockfish. I can see some stockfish there.
My smoked
fish. That's the pala fish, right?
Yes, it's cooking already.
With onions.
With onions.
Okay.
Crayfish. Crayfish and salt.
Salt, okay.
Inside it.
So why did you put everything together? Is there a particular reason for like mix of flavors?
No,
or
yes, just for it.
We are cooking.
Yes, we are making it together.
Okay.
You put all your cooking
protein,
together, because you are going to use the water like that
to prepare it. Okay, and then we have cocoa yam.
Cocoa yam, yes. This is I'm trying to remove.
This is to soften.
Yes, to soften it and any other little
impurities here. Okay.
So this is my cocoa yam. I'm going to pound it.
But before we pound it, let's quickly talk about what we have here. Okay. So we have
crayfish.
Okay.
You have our Cameroon pepper.
Okay.
Our ogiri, onions, and our bitter leaf.
So what is ogiri?
Ogiri is like locust base.
Okay.
This traditional meal is from Anambra particular. This is what they like eating.
Okay.
And they eat it at any point in time. It doesn't have any time they eat it.
Eat it, okay.
You're saying that time that it's going to be too heavy for breakfast.
Yes, I said so.
But you know, it's a food that they can eat. And like this, what I am now is just for the sauce to be thick.
Yes,
it's like thickener. Yes.
Okay.
So that's why you are using it. You can blend it.
Yeah. But it's also best to traditionally pound it.
You said we are going
the traditional route. Let me move this so it doesn't pour.
So I'm going to pound it.
Okay. Ooh. So, what's an alternative to thicken? What do you use as an alternative to thicken your soup when you're cooking? If you don't use the cocoyam,
You can use corn flour.
corn flour. Okay, but can you use corn flour for soups as well?
You can, like those Chinese food.
No, that's what I'm saying for this bitter leaf soup now.
You know, this you can't use it.
Exactly.
Taste is not going to give you that taste.
Taste.
Not that you can't use it, but that taste.
Taste you're looking for has to be this.
The taste is different. The difference is the taste.
I got you there. I got you.
So I'm trying to soften this now.
Yeah.
So after a while, I'll pour it here. I'm trying to make this cook.
Yes.
It's cooking already. So
all you just put
I didn't bring out my red oil. I'm going to add red oil to it.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So trying to do this.
So we just have in the pot. We just have chicken. I'd like to have a look at this. Whoosh. So we just have chicken, smoked kpala fish, smoked stockfish. Oh, this is nice. I should say I've actually never prepared everything together, and I think the burst of flavors would be amazing. Let me keep this here. Yes. Okay. So when we allow this to boil for a bit, what do we put next?
Oil.
Oil. Oh, okay.
I'm putting the oil because some people don't want it. We have different kinds of red oil.
Yeah.
After eating some, you start getting a kind of reaction on your tongue. Okay. So that's why I don't know the kind of beginning. The oil I'm giving is a good oil, but for some people.
Yeah, they react. Okay, so it's
going to get cooked. No, it's not ready now. I want this to at least cook for some minutes.
Okay, so you're saying that to avoid reactions to the oil, it's better to put it in the beginning.
So to get
to cook.
To cook.
Oh, I get you.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm still going to put all this
intermittently. Okay.
Inside it.
So what's the difference between this and this?
This is the small crayfish, the small one.
Okay.
This is the big one.
Okay.
Yes.
So this one is more like this is
flavor.
Like this is yes. So people don't like to see.
My quality control doesn't like this.
Mike. So I'm guessing Mike is he having breakfast this morning?
No, you eat my quality control.
Okay, you know what, Chef Shabotimo. While we allow you to continue with this, let's go on a quick break. When we come back, there is still so much more we have in store for you. Do not go anywhere.
Then Nigeria, it's time for a musical performance, and we have a rapper in the studio. He's not just a rapper, he's also a singer and a music composer. Adegbite Temitayo. He's popularly known as Tayo Vic. He will be performing a tune titled Balancer. So let's check it out.
That pretty lady looking like she get me person tell her for me she go regret what you body meta what you body go maro come balance ya everything gallant ya come balance ya everything gallant ya come balance ya everything Galancia, come Balancia, everything Galancia. Who's that girl? Who's that girl? Look at you, look at you. Look me well, look me well. Look me well, look me well. I go give you wire. Plenty money, no go tire. I go give you wire. Plenty money, no go tire. Make I take you go the places where you only see for assumptions. You fit to ask about me for the street, they go tell you where we come from. Oh, yakata. Oh, yakata. Oh, yakata. Oh, yakata. Who's that pretty lady looking like she get me person tell her for me she go regret what you body meta what you body go maro come balance ya everything gallant ya come balance ya everything gallant ya come balance ya everything gallant ya come balance ya kujo dada, bere mole kujo dada. On Kamilara, ma pamina. Get the things she did do me, get the things she did do me. Je long pamila, get the things she did do me, get the things she did do me. Je long pamila, baby komaro, baby tiko dano, ileke tiko maro, baby tiko dano. Ma pamina. Who's that pretty lady looking like she get a move? Me person tell her for me she go regret a move. What you body meta. What you body go maro. Come balance ya, everything balance ya. Come balance ya, everything balance ya. Come balance ya, everything balance ya. Come balance ya, everything balance.
Balance there by Tayo Vic. And something that I know actually creates balance when it comes to parenting is knowing when to talk. I'm going to do more than talk. Of course, our parenting experts in the house might not agree with doing more than talk, but we have Ekimi Siri in the house. You're welcome, ma'am. It's great to have you.
Thank you very much for having me.
All right, wonderful. So we're talking about the value of talk in parenting, right? Okay, I know we've, over the course of the month, we've spoken about different methods when it comes to parenting. But talk, that's something that a lot of African parents don't really believe in. They believe in that silence, they give you the eye. They know, there's a way when they squint the eye, you know what it means. When you're outside, when you're misbehaving as a kid, and then there's a way they look at you, you know how to do. So African parents believe in, sign language, or should I say also. But now we're talking about the value of talk when it comes to parenting. How important is talk?
Talk. What is talk? For me, talk is the open-ended communication between one or two persons, Open-ended.
Verbally.
Yes, verbally, spoken words.
Yes,
that's what I mean. And of course, in communication, we have verbal and non-verbal communication. But talk is the use of words to pass across your ideas, information. It involves listening, active listening as well. Because when we're talking to someone, we're not talking at the child. There's when you talk at
talking to.
You just talk. You do all the talking. But when you are, the value of talk involves you also listening to the child, because it has like three processes involved. The affective, that's where the emotion is involved. The intellectual, the thinking process. You understand? And then the behavioral. Sometimes as you're talking or your child is talking to you, if you look at the child, eye contact. I always say, look, eye contact is very critical. You'll be able to get some cues about emotions of the child. So through talk, the child gets to express his or her emotions unbarred. Yes. Most times we lose out on what our children are feeling or are going through because we don't engage them in talk. So talk is actually very, very important in the parent-child relationship.
Okay.
Yes.
And now, now when you're talking about parent-child, now let's look at the age. At what point should you start listening to the child? I mean, it's not kids that are maybe younger, 1, 2, they might not be coherent, they might not know how to express what they want to say and all of that. What's the age range you are looking at? When do we start having that kind of talk with them?
Talking to children begins from day one, really.
Okay, but when you say listening also, I'm looking at the listening part.
The listening part, you see, a child may not have all the words to express his or her emotions. But, I'd stated that in talk we have the affective, which has to do with the emotional aspect. You understand? Critical listening is not just listening to words. You listen to the emotional cues of the child as well. Because children actually get information emotionally from us. A child can tell you when you are sad, even without you saying you are sad, just by looking at your eyes. Children are very powerful. They have been equipped with everything they need to function as whole human beings within the human community. And so talking is not limited to any age at all. But you see, I understand what you're trying to say. When a child has language to be able to express him or herself, you must begin to start talking to the child about a lot of issues. Remember, in our universe, in the world now, we have several voices. And the first voice to get to the child
Should
seem to be the voice that directs, that dictates the direction of the life of that human being. And so the voice of the parent is needed in the soul of the child. The child needs that direction.
Now we've heard a number of stories about how maybe kids, when they are growing up, they have challenges in school, maybe they are being bullied and all of that. And, you know, when we grew up, we said, okay, we didn't have that access to our parents. We could have told them about things like this. If we had such access, you know, what can you tell parents now in a bid to prevent this kind of thing happening to their own kids, these kind of things that happen to us?
I will suggest that you as a parent, to project, because you are the older one, you are the more experienced one. Like, and my child is going to school. What are the likely experience? What are the likely challenges that this child will have? I need to resource her with some information, so that when these things happen, the child will be able to navigate that, you know, that particular situation. And then when we engage our children with talk, open-ended talk, where the child is free to express himself, where we teach. You know, in education, all we know today, every information we have is through talk. Every information you have is through talk, communication generally. And so when we already project that, look, my child is going to this place, what are the likely dishes that the child may come across? How does a child cross over to the other side? So we as parents, we should resource that child beforehand. So when the child gets there, the child will remember. Or else another voice.
You preempt it.
Yes.
I like
that.
Or
else another voice will direct the child. And that voice may not be the right voice.
What if the case of where the child is being bullied, say, by a teacher, and where they are threatened, say, okay, don't tell anybody and all of that? You know, we have situations like that, maybe people in junior secondary, maybe older primary, and then maybe a teacher is beating them or something, or an elder student or a senior in school and says, okay, if you tell somebody, we're going to... How do you, when a child doesn't want to talk, how do you make them talk?
If the parent-child relationship is very unique, okay. If a parent has already established that free flow of communication, body language, you can even tell. For example, I had an experience. My daughter, when she was, I think she was like 8, the teacher was bullying her. Really verbal, really, not just her, but all the children.
All the children.
So I noticed that, you know, she would say, Mommy, something is happening. I said, what is happening? There was a particular, I said, look, you need to tell me now what is happening. And then when she told me everything, she said, there is more. I said, so write those ones down. She said, I can't tell you those ones because you will shout. I said, okay, write it down.
Oh,
so
wow.
she wrote me a note.
Oh, wow.
And when I saw it, I had to handle. I went straight to the teacher.
To the school. Wow.
With my daughter beside me. I said, this and this and this and this and this. You know, and it was a very emotional situation. And
wow.
so the lady, I insisted that you must apologize, not only to my daughter, but to other children. Yes, I insisted. So as parents, we need to be our children's cheerleader. Now, I'm not saying I'm a perfect parent, but things come up. If there is a relationship of talk, children will tell you things. Like you said, they may not be, sometimes they're not able to articulate certain things because they are being threatened. But you also listening to their body language, to the emotions that they express, that's also part of talk. That's also part of talk.
Wonderful.
Above all, the talk of our life is also very important. What is our life telling to
Show it to the kids.
you
I
know,
love this.
You understand?
I love the practical example you gave. That alone really drives the point home, trying to make them, you know, talk even when they don't want. Thank you so much. It's always a pleasure having you. And of course, gleaning from your fountain of knowledge. Thank you so much. Thank you. All right, that's it. On parenting, I hope you're able to grab one or two things. We'll take this time out now. There's still more to come on show. Okay. All right. I'm here with Chef Shebiltimo. Finally. So it's not about how it starts, it's about how it ends. So forget Tokpe. Tokpe is the one that started it, but we are ending it. Let's go there. Hey! Did you see that thing? I love the way. Wow. That looks very nice. Okay, so how far have we gone and how is this?
We are ready to go. To serve it.
What? Can you perceive the aroma? From wherever you are, this thing is so there's not enough this thing. It's just players we're sitting inside. There's nowhere to get the liquid and all that. The way it's going. Okay, but we're basically done, right?
We are done.
We're basically done. Okay, just to serve it. This looks very. What? Okay. And how do, I know that there are different ways people prepare semo. What style did you use? Because I know people use different styles.
Well, I dissolve it in water.
Okay.
Then.
But there's more than one style to prepare the semo, right?
There are so many.
So do you like when you're done with your semo? Do you like your semo feeling thick, or do you like it a little bit less?
Soft.
You like it softer. You don't like it so thick,
Yeah,
eh?
so thick.
But when it's too soft, sometimes I don't really
No,
value
it's
it
not
all
that
that much.
soft like that.
Eh,
Like
okay.
This, look at this now.
Okay,
I think
okay.
you can finish the whole of this.
Do you love this thing? No, I can't. Let me not go and try myself or something that's much higher. Okay, but this looks very nice.
What
Maybe.
price is it on?
And
You are now a good.
And well, of course, now we're going to check and ensure that the quality here is being sustained and all of that. Okay, all right. Okay, so from the person who rounded up the things in the kitchen here, I have to ensure, like Shibotimo said, we have to ensure that the quality is, is up there. So while I ensure that the quality is up there, Tokwe, you say you started it, but I ended it, and better is the end than the beginning of a thing. So yeah, you can take it away now. Don't come here when it's over.
It's fine. I do remember the chef saying clearly that you do not eat crayfish, so it's okay. When you have blisters all over your mouth, I will take nice pictures.
Because you open pot.
With grand style, don't think that you can cook. But moving on, we do have... But moving on from you, Mike, we have with us our last guest that we have been saving the actual best for last. Not what Mike was saying. We have model, actor, presenter, broadcaster, and voiceover artist this morning, OK Jude. Now, he has starred in a numerous number of Nollywood films and sitcoms like Mnet's hit series, The Brethren, Ineka the Pretty Serpent, The Bling Lagosians, and a host of others.
Yes, indeed. You are welcome, Jude. Always a pleasure to have
you.
someone
It's
from
good to be
Nollywood,
here.
especially when we're sat here with Tokwe. It's going to be a great, great one.
And it's also great to have someone that is married that we know is actually married.
See, we don't bring those kinds of conversations from outside the set.
No, but if you can talk about my personal life, we can't talk about your personal life.
Jude, it's all about you, man. Welcome. Great to have you.
Thank you.
You
It's
have
good to be here.
such a resume, man. And I also noted that you were also doing television as well at one time.
Yeah.
Not just television, but news.
Yeah.
Now that is
Core news.
core news.
Yeah.
That's very, very interesting.
So what inspired this switch to film?
All right. I think in life, when there's that thing that you're supposed to do,
Yeah.
it just keeps pulling you. So even when I was in the 9-to-5 business, corporate sector, and maybe I'll see a friend of mine on the TV, acting, some people just tell me, this is supposed to be you. This is what you're supposed to be doing, So my father said I started acting from when I was like maybe 5, So yeah, it's that thing that just kept pulling, and got to the time I said, now this is the time.
Had to do it.
Life is so short. Let's just do what we're here for.
Now, you are a good-looking man. In fact, I'm jealous. When I see people like you, I just want to punch them in the face so they have some sort of imperfection or something. But in any case, was this an influence into you wanting to go into the movies?
Well, maybe
Be
not
honest.
on my...
Be very honest.
Yeah, I will
you
be.
go.
Maybe not on my part, but a friend of mine, Stan, is a huge factor in why I'm doing what I'm doing. So he told me one day, he said, oh, this is your fine boy. What are you using it for in the corporate world?
Yeah.
Come to entertainment, that's where we need you.
Yeah.
So how people just say things and how they say the voice of the people is the voice of God, right? So he said that, and maybe a couple of people here and there. Just kind of influenced, but no, it was more from within.
Okay.
Yeah.
But so now you're married. Now, how does your wife handle the pressure of you being on TV?
It's funny that she is also one of the reasons I'm doing what I'm doing.
No.
Because, I believe in marriage, you have to be happy first as an individual before you both come together and make a happy home.
Yeah.
And she has always known that this is what I want to do.
Okay.
And she said, if this is what is going to make you happy, that's what's going to make our home happy. So go for it. So she gave me all the push I needed. Yeah.
Are your scenes influenced by the thought that you are married, so you wouldn't do certain scenes because I'm married, like a kiss scene, for instance, half naked scene, let's say a naked one?
I don't think I'll do nude.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
But I'm an actor, and so of course, you know acting is...
No, I don't know.
You don't know?
She does. I
Okay,
don't.
so whenever I'm acting, OK Jude is left aside.
Okay.
And whatever character I'm playing is what I embody. So at that point, it's not really me. You know, but of course, we live in a society where we're not really that, what's the word to use now? But of course, you know what I mean. So there are limits, you know, really.
So what you can do.
Yeah.
So just a quick one. It's just, let's just assume, I just want to see your reaction. So let's assume if Steven Spielberg calls you to come star a lead role in a Hollywood film, and you're going to have to go all 12 years a slave, like, stack naked, and this is a huge international platform production. Are you still going to say no?
Then I'll have to think about it.
You better go talk to your finance minister.
I'll have to think about it. But then again, most times when I get a script, we run through it, you know, and so she's on board. So whatever it is she sees on screen is not something she's just thrown off balance. You know?
Yeah.
We've actually gone through it and said, okay, I think this will be good. You can do it this way. And of course, you know, directors have their different ways of expression.
Yes.
So you may go nude, but on screen it doesn't really appear that way.
Yeah.
You know? So yeah, I try to toe that fine line.
That fine line.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Both of you are actors, and I'm always very awed by what you guys can achieve, especially you.
Thank you.
You're great too.
Thank you.
And we saw a couple of your clips from while we were talking about the you also do theater as well.
Yes, I do.
However, I've always wondered, I like the progression where Nollywood is going, but I want us to get to that space where we're able to translate some of our epic stories from folklore and all of that into movies. You do a bit of that in Riona, but this is, I'm talking, if you were going to do a superhero movie, what kind of superhero would it be? In the African context.
sense, exactly.
It has to be Shango.
Aha. You're not black enough, by the way, but it's okay.
But it has to be Shango.
Why?
Ah, man, the stories we've heard about Shango. And I think growing up, I watched...
an iteration of
yeah,
Shango,
yeah, you know, where they had the river, you know, and all that. And the guy who played that character,
I
can't remember his name now, but he was so fierce, he was so authoritative, he was so confident.
He commanded the presence.
He had that presence, you know.
Yeah.
And I think what I would like Shango is, these days, when people hear about the church, you know, okay, like you say, swear by the Bible, this, that, people are not really that scared because of the mercies of God.
God, yeah.
But when you hear Shango, you know that,
like, yo, they're going to tear you down.
you know, they tend to be more scared of things like that, you know.
Yeah.
So I think it's just because of how, you know, fierce and expressive and firm and, you know, that presence it tends to portray. Yeah, so I'd like that Shango will be the character.
Okay. Now let's talk about the financial life of an actor. Now you're a married man, so that's even more responsibility. As an actor, would you say Nollywood is now sustainable, or you have another source of income?
Okay, well, I think in any endeavor, it's always good to, like you say, you can't be a billionaire with just one stream of income. So it's always advisable to have various streams. But I would say for a fact, I've been doing this now squarely for 4 years.
4 years?
Yeah, and it's been meeting my needs. So then again, I think maybe because of my orientation from the corporate sector, you find a situation where people earn maybe as little as 150,000 naira.
Okay.
But yet they send their kids to school, they live a good life.
They build a house.
They build a house, they do a lot of stuff. So I think it's more about, you know, discipline, it's more about planning. And yeah, answering your question, Nollywood has come of age. Yeah.
It has come of age. All right. Nice. Now, there's something interesting that we have for you. Mazino, you want to tell him?
Yes. Every single time we have a guest here who happens to be our final guest, they enjoy the pleasure of coming over to the kitchen and having a taste of whatever. You're getting a bit too excited.
Yo, you didn't eat dinner.
But hey, it's your lucky day, I guess. So Tokwe will show you over.
But I do hope you have a large appetite.
We'll see.
Let's go. All right, come with me to the kitchen.
Thank you.
Chef Shebotimo prepared breakfast for you.
Okay,
you come in here. Yes, this way.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Now, this is Chef Shebotimo, and she prepared semolina and bitter leaf soup.
I love bitter leaf soup.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
So Let's have a quick view of what the food looks like. All right. Okay, now we can give it to our guests.
Oh.
Remember that you have to rate the food.
Okay.
From 1 to 10, tell us what you think.
Okay.
I already feel like your excitement is a 9.
I am. It's a 9 already.
It's a 9 already.
Because for a fact,
and
as
you're
I
an
was
Igbo
walking in
man.
there, the aroma was just so inviting. I could already man.
I'm feeling myself.
Can I?
Yes,
can I
dig
dive?
in, dig in.
This is so moist and so sumptuous. So I think this is already an 8.
An 8.
Yeah.
Okay.
Before you even
Texturally
taste.
speaking.
Texture. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So
Let's have you have this soup. Okay. Okay. All right. It's thinking. It's thinking. Okay. You have to take another one. Uncle, wait first. Wait.
Sorry. Let me help this.
Okay.
So you can actually take this in the morning.
I can't.
Uncle, give us rating now.
Do I need to say more? This is a 10.
It's a 10.
A
Fantastic.
10.
Chef Baltimore, there you have it, a 10. Thank you so much for coming on this show. It's been an amazing show so far. But before we go, Mazino, just drop some words of wisdom for the day.
Well, it doesn't matter how bad looking you look, even if you are not as good looking as our final guest. You can still make Nollywood. There's space for everybody. So make some room for me.
Yeah, definitely.
Did that work?
Yes, we do have room for more. Thank you so much,
tomorrow.
guys. See you tomorrow, same time, 7 a.m., 8:45. We love you guys. Mwah!